Jade Cargill is getting absolutely roasted by WWE fans coming out of Clash at the Castle 2024. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and why she is undergoing so much heat. Now, you have to understand that Jade Cargill is a very controversial person. She has been from the moment that she made her AEW debut in 2020 by teaming up with Shaq against Red Velvet and freaking Cody Rhodes on Dynamite. You either love her or you hate her. You understand the hype or you don't get the hype. You think she's correctly rated or you think she's overrated, right? I've never seen a female star be so controversial ever. That includes Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, right? But this woman is just, you're either for her or against her, and there's no in between. And what WWE has done for her and with her since signing with the company has been remarkable, and part of that has been just calculations, right? Their booking of her has been some of the smartest, most intentional that I've seen in recent memory, especially with a female talent, right? If you go back to the Royal Rumble, the exact moment that she made her debut in the Women's Royal Rumble match, every move counted. I mean, they made her look like a freaking megastar, and she is, and that's why you want her to be a megastar, because she looks the part, so you might as well, and she acts the part, so you might as well book her as the part, right? What they were able to do in her initial main roster run by pairing her with Bianca Belair, that was a smart move, because Bianca, not only is she a top star, she's been a top star for a while now, but she's also one of the most lovable baby faces that WWE has under the roster right now. And so putting her in a tag team with her, and what they did at WrestleMania with them and Naomi against Damage Control. That's another element. Damage Control, an established, faction, stable. Okay, you put her against the heels, right? And then coming out of it, making her and Bianca a tag team where they won the tag team championships. And that leads us to today's video, because WWE presented Clash at the Castle on Saturday in Scotland. A heck of a show. Go check out my 3 horrible booking decisions, and this actually lands on it. So you had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending the championships against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, and Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler in a triple threat. And I thought the layout of the match was a little bit odd just to begin with, because it was booked as a traditional triple threat match, but with tag teams, because you had to have a representative of each team in the match legally throughout it. So it was already clustery as is, but then towards the finish, you just had pure chaos, right? Where like everyone is getting involved and everyone's breaking up things, and there was really no match flow. It was just spots. But in the end, it was Isla Dawn and Alba Fire walking away with the championships, and I didn't agree with that decision. I thought you should have kept the titles on Bianca and Jade. I thought they were doing a heck of a job as champions. I thought it was way too soon to break them up, take the titles off of them. I can understand maybe you wanting to do Jade and Bianca heading into SummerSlam on August 3rd, so it was like, well, we got to get the titles off of them. We might as well put it on Isla Dawn and Alba Fire here in their home country, right? And move on with it. That way you can have Jade and Bianca split at Money in the Bank maybe in a rematch, and then they feud at SummerSlam. I can see that. Here's what happened. Here's why Jade Cargill is getting absolutely roasted on social media, right? And it all comes down to this. So they were, and this is really a Reddit thing, because there was a spot where the referee did not end the contest as Jade Cargill appeared to accidentally tap out to a rear naked choke, or a clutch, if you will, by Shayna Baszler. And the fans have been roasting her on social media afterwards, because they just continued the match despite the fact that the camera picked up very, very clearly that Jade tapped. And they were like, well, why aren't we finishing this match? She freaking tapped. What are we doing? Look. And some people were like, oh, she needs to go down to NXT. She needs to go back to the Performance Center. She's god awful. And it's like, dude, she was probably caught up in the moment it happens. It happens. It wasn't like it was we've seen botched pin attempts, right? Or count of threes by the referee where they clearly count three, but the match just continues. That was god awful. It's pro wrestling. This is gonna happen. And if you're not able to understand that mistakes are going to happen in pro wrestling matches at a high level occasionally, then I don't know what to tell you, right? Mistakes happen but look, we have bloopers in movies and television shows. They just don't make air because they don't show them because it's pre-taped. They have mistakes and bad reffing calls in all of sports. You're gonna mess up. You're going to fluster. You're gonna have just moments where you don't think. You're trying to remember a match layout and what we're doing with this net spot, and then some people are calling spots on the fly. She's still really, really new to pro wrestling, and I understand that she's been around since 2020, but if you look at everything that she's done in AEW, everything that she's done in WWE, everything that she's done in her pro wrestling career thus far, this was really her only first major mistake. So I think you got to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, hey, you screwed up, let's move on. They carried through the match like it was expected, as it was planned. So I wouldn't take this out of too much context. I also think there's just people out there that are just going to roast people just because they take some sort of weird, twisted enjoyment from it. I think there's also people that are just going to complain just to complain. I also think that there's a lot of people that just don't like Jade Cargill. And as I said at the top of this video, you have those who support her and you have those who don't support her. And it just depends on which line you fall under. I think they're going to do great things with Jade Cargill. I think they've already done great things with Jade Cargill, and I think you have to move on with Jade Cargill. If you look at the rest of this show, I thought it was actually pretty good. I've really, really enjoyed the opener with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes in an I Quit match. I thought they did great work there. I thought it was slow but methodical. I thought the main event was absolutely pitch perfect. I loved the camera angle when CM Punk slid in to count the 1, 2, and then stopped. I thought they captured the reveal of Punk very well. The surprise on Drew McIntyre's face extraordinarily well. So if you look at it like that, then, and you look at the in-ring work of everyone on this show, I don't know how you can complain too much about a freaking botch spot. But maybe that's just me being overly optimistic. Maybe that's just me being a Jade Cargill fan. I don't know, but let's move on. That's what I would say.